Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Auburn Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019, now called to order at 7 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and broadcasted live by Local Access Program. Is there anyone here in the audience tonight that is recording tonight's meeting? There being none, rise and join us in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to remind the audience, applicants, town administration, and each of the planning board members to please refrain from asking questions in regards to all matters discussed this evening without first being granted my consent. First item on our agenda this evening is an A&R plan for 13 Packard Ave. We don't have to vote.
So it's just looking to convey one piece of the lot to another. The lot line from here.
Lot A1 to Lot B1.
Sorry, John.
Need to go from Lot A1 to Lot B1.
So it all fits within the...
A1's given B1 this.
Right. Mother and daughter.
Any questions? Nick?
None.
So,
Is there any comment from the public? There being none, I need a motion to approve the A&R.
I'll make the motion to approve the A&R.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
time.
All right, next we have a waiver request, the 7:05 public hearing. It's a waiver request for Troy's Sport Bar at 125 Oxford Street North for the lighting plan, landscape plan, traffic study, documentation of availability and adequacy of water and sewer, coupled with an application for Troy's Sports Bar requesting site plan approval under Section 9.4.1 of the Auburn zoning bylaws for the extension of a non-conforming use, a proposed deck on property located at 125 Oxford Street North, Auburn, Mass. Map 10, Parcel 82. This has been continued from June 25th, 2019 meeting, and there is a request for a further continuance till the next meeting.
Yes.
Do I have a motion for that?
Make the
Do we have to
motion.
open this as,
No,
did you
sorry.
guys open it before?
Been open.
Okay, okay.
I'll make the motion to continue it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Both. We have to do it for each item, or we do both at once?
Just the one for the,
He said they were both. Dick, what's your time?
Gotta wait 2 minutes.
7:07.
Okay. 7:10 is the next.
so we can proceed on the minutes.
Minutes of 5:28:19, 6:11:19, and 6:25:19.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes, those 3 meetings as amended.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's a vote.
For August schedule also. Do I have 2 meetings or for one like we did for July?
You don't have anything on the schedule, or we got enough that we can take care of it in one
We
meeting?
can probably take care of it in one meeting. The 2 public hearings, the Troy Sports Bar that were just continued, and the next one that asked for continuance,
Well, why don't we have
expect
them towards the end of
Ready.
it, in the second meeting
Yeah,
of
I don't
August,
expect them to
with
be ready
second
until then.
Tuesday of August. That's the
the 4th.
fourth Tuesday of August.
Which is what day?
27th?
Don't know what the date is of yet.
27th.
27th.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to have August meeting on the 27th.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is a vote.
One minute, Ronnie.
Okay, thank you, Dick.
We can skip over that subdivision now and take the next one, or can just wait.
We'll wait. And we'll do the 7:10 when it comes up. That's gonna be continued also.
Almost. We're good by that clock.
7:10.
Thank you.
Yep.
We have a 7:10 public hearing. The applicant is SCLL Realty LLC, a definitive subdivision plan for 13 single-lot family homes development on property located at 178 Hampton Street and 19 Eaton Ave, map 12, parcel 120. This has been continued from June 25th. Did you guys open this prior?
Yes.
And there is a request for a continuance to our next meeting in August.
Yeah, yes.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to continue to August 27th.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have a waiver request at 390 Southbridge Street. Strategic Behavioral Solutions for public hearing, topography, lighting, site plan, prepared by a professional engineer, landscape, drainage, proposed use to be educational, and I believe it's in the vicinity of where the Dunkin' Donuts is on
Right behind
Southbridge Street, and up in the back where the motel is. Adam?
They're asking for several waivers. Up to the board if they either want to waive any or all of the requests. The engineer for the project is present. So we'd like to let him run through the proposal.
So, they're asking for a waiver for a public hearing,
Correct.
which I do not agree with.
Can I explain for a minute?
I'd like this, I'm not, myself, I would want all of these in the, for whatever they're doing. They want to waive public hearing, topography, lighting, site plan prepared by a professional engineer, landscape, drainage, proposed use that to be educational, and then strategic behavioral solutions, which is part of the request. Site plan for approval for private educational use under 3.2.3.2 of the Auburn zoning bylaws at this location.
It's been endorsed by the school department.
Is Steve anything?
I'd like to hear what he has to say and then...
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. My name's Norman Hill. I'm a civil engineer with a consulting firm of Land Planning. And with me tonight is Mr. Salah Asfour. He's the president of AA architectural firm. Next to him is Nico. He's the manager of this company, this Strategic Behavioral Solutions. And next to him is a young lady named Jill McGrail, and she's with Massachusetts Preparatory Academy for Children. Now, this company, Strategic Behavioral Solutions, has been operating here in this portion of the site, in this building, this brownish colored building right here. So they're presently operating there right now, and what has triggered this application is they want to add a use where they'll be actually teaching the children. Right now, they're helping the parents and the children with just strategic behavioral training. But what they would like to do is do some teaching in that same space. So
Excuse me, which building are they currently in? Have been
390.
The
operating?
one with the red dot on it.
This one here?
Yes, sir.
That's where the old
So
gym was.
They occupy about, well, more than half of that building, almost two-thirds of that building now. So the only thing they're going to be doing is just slightly changing the use, but they're going to be teaching the children in addition to what they're doing now. So we put together this plan which shows the property lines in red. It shows there are 3 buildings on the site. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in front, then there's this office building here in which they occupy most of it, and then there's a motel here. And what we've done is we've shown all of the parking that's available on site. And we've put a parking chart together by use. So we've got the hotel, the motel, how many parking spaces are required for that per your bylaw. The Dunkin' Donuts, how many spaces are required for that. We've got the office building, where there are 3 tenants in the office building. There's a dentist, a cleaners, and then my client. Now the cleaners are not operating right now, but we've still put in 5 parking spaces for the cleaners. And so the site, per your code, would require 109 spaces, and there are 112 spaces on site right now. So, I don't know if I went that too quickly, but again, just to repeat, we're here simply because that existing tenant wants to add the ability to be able to teach the students. Did I say that correctly? Yeah. So these are autistic children that are in this facility.
For the chair. may I ask?
Yes.
So you're asking for these waivers, and under what purpose would you want these waived? Just, you don't want to do them, or?
Well, a public hearing, you can do a public hearing, have to notify all the abutters, but they're already operating here, and with the same students, the same teachers, the same staff, no new employees. They just want to be able to also teach the children. So,
Can I just interject a
Sure.
little bit? The daytime program, the school program for education purposes will be approved by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and has already been approved by the school committee in Auburn. So it is something that it's a private day program, a Chapter 766 program. I don't know if anyone's familiar with those or not. But it does meet with several regulations through the state, so it is a state-approved program.
and these are all autistic children that they're helping, and their families. And so we've taken the property line and we plotted it out, so we believe it's pretty accurate. We have not surveyed it. To survey it would cost several $1,000s. We've taken the aerial image, and we've traced down the buildings and the pavement. If we had to survey the precise location of that would cost several $1,000s. We had to do the stormwater management, bring this site up to current stormwater management. That might cost $50,000. $10,000 engineering, $40,000 for construction. And all these things would take time. Each of these items, to survey the perimeter would take a few weeks. Survey all those existing conditions would take a few weeks. To do the stormwater management design would take a few months. So if you were to hold us to the letter of the law and ask us to comply with all of those requirements, we wouldn't be back in front of you for 4 or 5 months to get this all engineered. We believe the site is working fine in its current state. We've shown you where the lights are, and the site's well lit, and there haven't been any issues here. And we're asking the board to just take the magnitude of the project, which is very small, into consideration when you make your decision on these requests.
We have a letter from the town engineer, and it says he has reviewed the plan in the field and would recommend that the expanded parking area be paved and drainage improvements be provided as necessary. It would not be practical to plow this area in the winter, and obviously it could not be striped, because it said it's gravel and not paved at this time. Adam?
Yeah,
That
it's dirt.
Yeah. And then he goes on, also, there is a large culvert adjacent to the gravel parking area, which should have guardrail installed to protect vehicles from driving into the brook. They will also need to go to conservation for work within the resource area.
If I could speak to that letter. So about 95% of the site is paved, and currently all the parking takes place on the paved portion of the site. But there's a gravel area back here, you can see that, in which we could paint 18 parking spaces out back. But no one really needs that now, but it could be considered an overflow area.
That would be in addition to the 112,
No, that's included in the 112. Yes, sir.
but they're included in your count, but not paved or marked at this
That's
time.
correct, that's correct. Yes, so all this would have to be striped. This is not striped here, or here, or here. What you see in red is not currently striped. So all we're suggesting we do is stripe the parking, so people will do a better job of parking.
Dunkin' Donuts is striped.
Yeah, that part is, that's in black. See that, it's in black. That's all existing striped, but none of this is striped.
And you said your requirement was how many?
109 required.
You got 112, but that's, how many that you're including are in that gravel area that's not paved or marked?
18.
So,
Wait a minute. 11, 35, 49, 96, 16, 76, 83, 90. 93. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Steve?
I don't, if we're ready to vote, I mean, obviously, I think it needs to go to public hearing. Let them know. I think at that point, then we can discuss the individual waivers after that point, but I think before then, it's premature.
Nick?
I tend to agree.
John?
Where you show the strategic behavioral solutions at 4,200 square feet, is that including the new stuff?
Yeah, they'd stay in the same office, the same space. There's no construction proposed inside. They have existing facilities inside.
In the red dot building, the one with all the white roof, it's that whole building that they're in now?
No.
No, it's a
You have
small
the cleaners
section.
right after them, and you have the dentist in the back.
Oh,
Oral
so
surgery.
there's two other things there.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a Dunkin'
So-
Donuts and a motel.
Your behavioral thing will be in the main,
You got the dentist in the back, the cleaners, and this is where they are, this 4,200 square feet.
it's not that big a section, bigger roof section.
Yeah, they're in the biggest roof section. Part of it.
So, if I could just...
I just asked her if time was a factor here.
So the school will be licensed through the state for 30 students, but that, we will not have 30 students to start. We can open with 2 or 3 students, and so the number of parking spaces we'll need for that will be very minimal. During the daytime now, Strategic Behavioral Solutions does not have programming during the day during the school year. And so we're using the same building that they use in the afternoon and on weekends. And so none of their staff are parking except for maybe 2 people, administrative people park during the day. And so it will just be the addition of the staff for the day program during the daytime. And then as we add children, students, we will add staff, but that isn't going to happen immediately when we open.
I'm not sure we all heard that, but you're saying that the place is mostly vacant during the day right
It
now?
is,
Monday to
yes.
Friday, it's mostly vacant. But you run your current programs in the evening and on weekends? Is that what you do
Yeah,
now?
after school and weekends.
After school and weekends, that's what you're doing now?
That's what Strategic Behavioral
Yeah.
Solutions. And so the new program will be during the daytime when the current space is empty.
So like 8 to 5,
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
9 to 3,
Yeah.
that's when you'd like to have
Yes.
this teaching facility
Yes.
in the same area.
Mhm.
So the people that park there at night wouldn't be there during the day,
No.
but these new people would be there during the day.
Right.
But the current staff wouldn't be because they're only there nights and weekends, so.
I don't think that anyone here is opposed to it. I think it's a wonderful thing that you'd be doing, but we need to look at this and have you come before us for an official form, if this isn't it, to discuss each of the waivers in a singularly by themselves, and then see what it is. And I'd like to have a chance to just go up there, haven't been up in the back in there in years and stuff like that, and see what it looks like. So I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
So
if
you'd
we
have
do
to,
the- I'm sorry, if I may. So
Yeah.
if we do the public hearing, just time-wise, we'd have to send certified notices to all the abutters 10 days before the meeting. So a public hearing wouldn't happen for like another 3 or 4 weeks. We'd have a public meeting. Is that okay with you time-wise? Okay.
then we should all have had time to maybe take a look at it and go up there.
Yeah, I mean, through the chair, to be clear, that's all it really is just making sure that the abutters are notified, and then we address the waivers as we see at that point.
Absolutely, yeah. And the board is all in agreement on that. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion to deny the public hearing if your comments are all set. A waiver for the public hearing.
I'll
I'll make
a
the
mo-
motion to deny the waiver for the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So you'll put them on for the 27th of
Yes,
August.
Yep.
Come back, we should have, and it'll probably be that some things you'll have to do, and, well, we'll be having a public hearing then, that'll take care of that one, and then we'll talk about the other things at that time after everybody's maybe had a look at it and stuff like that.
That's great. And if I could get a copy of the town engineer's letter, now, are there any other letters from any other departments?
yeah.
Just the one? If you could email
I'll
that
send you
to
an
me.
email,
Thank
yeah.
you. All righty. All right.
Any public comment?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Mark Mel, 4 Field Street. How many handicap parking spaces you gonna have?
4, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
All right. August, was it August?
27th.
Thank you.
Well, next, we have a waiver request at 3 Jerome Ave, Energy Athletics, for a public hearing, site topography, lighting, landscape, engineered site plan, and drainage. Change of use from warehouse to athletic facility. Also with this is Energy Athletics requesting site plan approval for an athletic facility under 3.2.5.6 of the Auburn zoning bylaw at 3 Jerome Ave, map 1, parcel 28. So if all the waivers were granted or the engineered site plan ones granted, then we would go into a public hearing on the site plan approval.
Yeah, I don't know if the applicant's here, I'll
At some point, we
see him.
approved this last year, a couple of years ago, I think, and I thought it was gonna be a construction garage or
Correct.
something like that. And
Yes.
so,
It'll be Firehawks Warehouse.
yeah, in a warehouse, and now it's, the request is to make it into an energy athletics.
Baseball school, basically. Baseball school, training facility, indoor training facility.
Okay, and at this time, they're asking that they would like a public hearing waiver, site topography, lighting, landscape, engineered site plan, and drainage. Change of use from warehouse to athletic facility. Steve,
We have to open, again, I think
it's not
Yeah.
a public hearing
with
yet.
this, I don't think we waive the public hearing.
I agree.
I agree.
It doesn't look like he's here anyways, so.
So we would need the public hearing. Anyways, okay, so do I have a motion to deny the waivers as requested?
Make a motion to deny the public hearing waiver.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is a vote. Okay. Next, we have a site plan modification for FW Webb, 33 Sword Street, with relationship to signs. Is the applicant present?
Yes. Good evening. My name is Michael Brewster. I'm with Barlow Signs. I'm here for FW Webb. We were here last week and we received a special permit for the signage for the property.
I suppose so.
The building looks drastically different now than that photo. They've done quite a bit of work out there. Actually, last week after the zoning meeting, I went out to the site just to take a look at it, and it's a really nice looking building. We're just seeking modifications for the signage that we're looking to put on the building. There's one sign allowed by right, and we received a special permit for 3 additional signs on the building.
From the zoning.
Correct.
So, it's The board needs to decide if this constitutes a minor modification. Vote on that.
Can you show us or describe the size of the signs? And
Yeah. So one of the signs, there's only one sign that's actually internally illuminated, and it's 4x8.
And it's the Frank
Oh,
Webb?
this one right here, the Frank Webb
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
Okay. 4x8?
Yep.
And to give you a little better idea, and I don't know if you folks had seen this one, this is the architectural rendering showing the location of the signs on the building. I don't know that that's in that package. I think there's some photos and some rough ideas, but I had them work this up as well.
No.
So you pass around then.
That's the streets.
So we have the illuminated sign, which is a 4x8.
That's the bigger one on the left of this?
That is the blue square.
Yep.
Yeah, or a rectangle.
And the next one is?
It's an awning. It's non-illuminated. And then basically where you see the letters that are on the building in that photo is the sign that was allowed by right that they chose to pick as their primary sign.
The normal FWL one?
Yeah, exactly. It's non-illuminated. And then they have a larger sign. It's about 55 square feet, or I'm sorry, total square footage, 84 square feet. But it's an FW Webb company sign.
And where does that one go?
That one, if you look at that rendering, it shows it.
East side.
I think it's the east side.
It shows right there.
Yeah, they're the other one.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're non-offensive. And I believe that it would be a non-substantive change.
Yeah, I think it's a minor
We
change.
should grant the waiver.
I'll make a motion.
Steve?
Make a motion to grant the waiver.
Okay,
Is there a second?
it's not a waiver. We need a motion that it's a minor
Minor.
modification.
Okay.
That's a minor modification.
And then another motion to accept the modification. Or you can do it the
I
same
need a
time.
motion to say that you're accepting it as a minor modification.
Make a motion to accept this as a minor modification.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now a motion to accept the waiver.
Make a motion to accept the waiver.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's a vote.
Thank you.
Okay, the next waiver. Prime Ford, 780 Washington Street, and also for signs.
Hello. I'm Heather Dudko with National Sign. And what they would like to do, they've removed their existing ground sign and they'd like to relocate it. It's the same structure. I did use a big site plan here. I do have a little site plan in your packet there. So the existing sign location was here, and they want to move it east down to the new entrance. And it will meet the setback, 10-foot setback. And it's the same
Further
structure.
towards Faith Ave.
Correct.
Yep.
That's not accurate anymore.
What's what?
It's not accurate, a picture anymore.
No.
No, that's not accurate, no.
Through the chair. Yes. So you said it will meet the setbacks?
Correct.
Setbacks from where it's placed in the ground, it doesn't overhang the property
From the
line?
leading edge of the sign.
From the leading
Yeah,
edge? It will-
10 foot to the setback requirement's 10 foot.
Okay. Thanks.
How many feet square is it?
The existing sign, it's a 142 square foot oval. Measured as a rectangle, it's 160. 31 foot 8 inches overall height. The existing structure.
Well, it's on the Route 20 strip. There's no houses. They just did a beautiful job up there. So I don't have, I think it's non-substantive in that we should state that we believe it's non-stop substantive in a motion, if the board feels so. Is there any abutters or audience that want? Mark?
Mark, 4 Field Street. Would you be willing to link that to the town when there's an emergency they can put to your board, message board?
Can you say that again?
When there's an emergency in the town, the code red,
Mm-hmm.
the town manager is working with the businesses so that if there's an emergency, you can put the message on your message board.
Oh, they don't have a message board on the sign.
Okay.
It's just a stationary
just a-
sign,
yeah.
Mark.
Oh,
It's
it's not
just,
electronic?
No, it's
No.
it was the existing sign that they had on site, so it's
Okay.
just an ID sign, there's no message board.
Okay.
No.
to have a motion to accept it as a non-substantive change.
Make a motion to accept it as a minor change.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion to accept the waiver request for the sign being moved east?
I make a motion to accept the waiver request to move the sign east.
I got a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's a vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did I hear you say that Sheila's going to do it?
Okay, our next waiver request is from Lundgren Honda at 163 Washington Street. Is it a waiver? Or is it just a request?
Modification.
Modification to the site plan to include the charging stations. Is the applicant present?
Yeah, I'm Mike Burns from Elm Electric. This is Matt York as well. And Adam, thank you for helping us through and getting us in. Basically, we're here because Lundgren Honda currently has two indoor electrical vehicle charging stations. So it was with the changing times and being green friendly, etc., they wanted to add two stations outside so vehicles could charge there before they were able to get into the building as well. So basically the work involved coming out of the building with the electric service out beyond the service bay waiting concrete parking garage and across to the charging station here where two existing parking spaces would be identified as EV charging stations. So the charging station sits on a small concrete pad. It's surrounded by bollards so vehicles can't smash into it. And basically, that's all we're doing is saw cutting the bituminous paving, coming across and adding EV charging station here. So we request that you consider that a insignificant change. There's no change in the impervious area, no drainage changes. Basically, it's just accommodating an electrical vehicle charging station.
Steve?
No comment.
Nick?
None at this time.
My question is, I don't know what that is on the upper left-hand side of the building. It looks like an awning, a fake awning like they have at the high school, right to the right of your charging stations.
That blue?
Right here.
No, that corner right there. Why can't you bring the electricity out from there instead of running it all the way around the building?
That you'd be able to have more.
Then they'll do it overhead in the building.
Based on location of where the service is inside the building. So the part of the problem, as I understand, all of this concrete area is heated, and we can't cut it. It's heated. There's in concrete heating cable, so we can't cut through it. So that's why the Lundgren owners asked them to come just do the.
There's no concrete from here to here. They're right in front of the concrete.
I think the concrete wraps around the entire building.
It does, but you come up just outside it, rolling down instead of coming all the way around here like that.
So why can't you run it interior to the building until you exit that side? I think it's a question.
I just don't think there's anywhere that we can exit the building without crossing the concrete, other than that one spot. That's the only portion that's not heated. That's what I understand.
it seems like you could carry wherever you're grabbing it from inside that area, you could carry it across the ceiling, because the dark spot is a building underneath, right?
That's a
The roof of
service
a
bay
building.
with, that's a service bay with
Carry the-
garage doors all the way.
Being the electrical guy, can you do that? Carry it across under the roof there and then come down and go out, or conduit?
Come out right here.
Heated pad.
Yeah, I believe there's heated pad all the way around those sides of the
Yeah,
building.
I'm saying, outside that concrete's the heated pad. This is bituminous right here.
Right.
Cut right through that, right over to your 2 charging spaces. It's gonna come all the way around like that.
I guess I'm just not understanding how you're proposing we go from the building to the bituminous concrete without,
There's no
Interact.
bituminous right here. There's no concrete right here. It's only here and here and there. There's nothing coming down this face. So if you came out just beyond this concrete, came over like this and like that, you'd save a lot of time and money. You wouldn't be ruining all that asphalt, because it'll never be the same. It'll popple and everything else, even though it's a little tiny strip. Just something to look at.
so I guess there is an area.
Well, there's-
It's all a lot of glass.
There's another twist to it. We weren't aware that it required a planning board hearing as a significant change or to review it in that manner. So unfortunately, we've already started some of the work, and at what time the building inspector came and gave us a cease and desist order, and I just want to be completely honest with you guys.
I don't care which way you go.
Okay.
I'm just trying to save everybody some time and some money.
Well, I wish we talked to you a little earlier.
The project's all been reviewed and accepted by the owners, and
My only thing is,
I didn't personally do the walkthrough, so there's a third party involved that's providing the chargers. They did the initial walkthrough, and the owner may have had some reason, I don't know, I'm just speculating that they may have had a reason to go that route.
I don't have a problem with what you're doing. My biggest problem is how they're crowding the Siamese connection. That's a fire lane and it's blocked.
Yeah,
Oh,
with their
with
vehicles.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, effectively where the charging station is, it's 45 feet away and...
No, the charging station's fine. It's that
Yes.
last row of cars next to the service bay.
Yeah,
You can't be there.
yeah. So that's something we can address, or if the board wants to address it with Lundgren, we can make that a condition.
We can let them know, and then we can notify the,
Code.
Fire and all that.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it in the building.
Yeah.
Commissioner can look at, keep an eye on it.
that's a fire lane. It's supposed to be marked too. It's not.
Adam, did the fire department already comment on the location of the charging station with respect to the fire department connection?
I sent them an email and I'm not heard back.
It's far enough away.
Sorry.
It's far enough away from the Siamese. Plenty far. I'm speaking of the fire department, but I know it is.
Yeah, I have no comment on them.
Okay.
Steve?
No further comment? I have nothing additional.
Nothing additional?
So do we have a motion to call it a minor change and allow them to continue their work in the fashion that they described?
I'll make a motion. It's a minor change.
I'll second that, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve it?
Make a motion to approve it.
Do we have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Mention it to them about the fire lane and that, and we'll be probably sending a letter to the fire chief.
We'll follow up with them directly, and thank you as well.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
There's one thing that's not on the agenda that I neglected to add. Consider,
Turn it in by Thursday, Adam.
Yeah.
The 54 Faith Ave public hearing it was continued 3 months ago till today, and there's been no action So they requested a continuance until the next meeting.
How many continues have we given them? More than a
My
handful?
first, this will be, since I've been here, this will be the number 3. So I don't know what I'm looking for.
And this is for Diamond.
Yeah, the 54th Fate. The problem with the holdup
Is it the parking lot? Is it the actual building, the road?
It's the road. They, last time I spoke to the town manager, the road was being appraised. They had to get multiple appraisals before it could go out to bid, to be sold. It had to go out to, I don't know if it was combines or not, but it had to be publicly auctioned off essentially. So that was still a process that was ongoing, so.
What has to be publicly auctioned off?
The loop, the section, when you used to go down Faith Avenue, loop
Yeah.
around the parking lot.
Public land, you can't just sell it to
You
one
got the
person.
new road now going
You
in.
could advertise for sale.
The new road
What's
goes
the
in like
price
this.
on it?
I have no idea. I have not seen the appraisal.
He'd love to buy it. That would be funny.
They can't, it's conflict of interest.
So did they ask for a specific continuance or just
Till the
tonight?
next meeting, till next month. Yeah, August 27th.
So none of the advertising was done.
Last I was aware, it's been several weeks, they were still doing the appraisal,
The town's doing the appraisal?
whoever they contracted with.
Who contracted?
The town contracted with a third-party appraiser.
Oh, okay.
They'll set
So
it,
the
they'll set-
holdup is the town, basically,
Yeah.
to get the appraisal and all that. Then I don't have a problem continuing.
do a motion to continue the 54 Faith Ave that Adam just told us about,
I'll make a motion to continue. Yeah, I'm just told us about.
August
August
27th
27th.
meeting.
Yes,
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
There's a
you.
vote.
thank you.
Okay, reorganization, we wait until Wendy and Scott are back.
Sure.
And I think we already know what it will be. New business unforeseen by the chair.
Nothing, this can wait till we'll need to reappoint the CMRPC delegate from the planning board. Be the delegate, so that can wait until the next meeting if you like also.
We've got member town planner update.
What are you leaving?
No.
Okay.
If you haven't already taken the master plan survey, please do. Runs until July 31st. The comments have been great so far. There's more comments.
How many up to
helpful.
now?
Hmm?
How many have completed it?
406 as of this morning have taken a survey.
Where were they coming from? Just everywhere?
Everywhere,
Is that online?
yes.
Can you tell my comments?
When you
Probably
send
tried
them,
really hard.
It's supposed to be an
Planning
online.
board, yeah, I think they figured it out.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they're anonymous.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Nick? Steve? John? Rachel? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There's a vote.